Hi, this is Kim from KimberlyKoehler.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool necklace. So for this project, I just sort of wanted to show you how my idea began. I usually jot ideas down on index cards because I find they're easier to use, and then I have like a whole kind of like deck of ideas at any time that I can pull out and decide to make. As you can tell, this project started out a little bit, you know, less complicated than it ended up being, but this is how it started. For this project, you'll need 18 gauge wire, and you can use whatever kind of wire you like. Copper would look really cool for this project too. You'll need beads. I used 25 of the beads I'm using. If you followed my exact design, you'll need 25 beads. And for me, that was a strand. I just got these from Michael's on sale one day. If you go to Michael's, you'll recognize this little tab. That's what I did. Nothing fancy. And then you'll need another bead, which I use these little pewter balls to go in between each of the dangles. And you'll also need chain to make the necklace. The tools that you'll need are wire cutters. You'll need round nose pliers. You'll need chain nose pliers. I like to use bent nose pliers and also squared pliers. And if you have them, your nylon covered pliers will come in handy to straighten out wire. So the first step is to actually make the head pins, which I show you in depth in another video that I posted not too long ago. So if you go to my website at www.KimberlyKoehler.com and look for head pins and how to make them, you'll find a video how to make them. I'm going to show you pretty quickly how to do that here though too. Okay, so your first step is to get about, depending on which dangle you're using, some of them have, my longest one has 5 beads and my shortest one has only 1 bead. Depends on how much wire you actually need. So I'm going to make a dangle right now with 2 beads. So I am going to cut off, I don't know, several inches here of wire. Now, if you don't know this, when you cut wire, when you cut with the flat side, it gives a flush cut. When you cut with the other side, it makes a pinch cut. So you want to cut to make a flush cut. Then you want to grab your round nose pliers, and you're just going to grab the wire in between the pliers and hold it so that the wire does not stick through. You can tell because you can run your fingers. Oh, and if you needed to straighten your wire a little bit, you just can run your nylon tipped pliers down it. So grab your wire in between your round nose wires, up toward the top but not so it's sticking out, and then just roll away from you, twisting your wrist. Go as far as you can, then kind of let up and come back again, keeping the wire in that exact same spot, and roll again so that the end of the wire hits the other wire. And then I grab my chain nose pliers and just grab that loop with them and then I start bending around that inside loop and make another twist around it. So we're kind of making a spiral here, and you just keep moving the wire and twisting around. You can do this basically however many times you want. I went around an entire time and then back to the beginning again. So then you are left with this. And then you just take your chain nose pliers and bend this back up so that you have a head pin. Now in the video I also show how to make a square, so if you prefer squares for this project, that's fine. If you want to twist more, go ahead, however you want to do. Alright, so now I'm going to put 2 beads onto my head pin here, and each dangle on the necklace, the middle one that I made has 5 beads, and then it goes out 4 beads on each side, then 3 beads on each side, 2 beads on each side, down to 1 bead on each side. If you want to just start with like maybe 3 in the middle, that's fine. However you want to do it. You don't have to do a symmetrical. You could do maybe 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. However you want to do it. I really just want you to get creative and do however you want to do. Alright, next we're going to put a wrap loop and make this into an actual dangle. I actually have a video for simple dangle earrings that show this skill very well. That's also on my website at www.kimberlykoehler.com. And so if you need a little more practice than I'm about to show you, I would suggest going to my website. Okay, so we just put the beads on. Now you're going to grab the wire in between your round nose pliers, just above the beads, or maybe you just have 1 bead on the wire. You're just going to leave a tiny little bit of space, enough for the wire to fit back in under here. And I wanted to show you too, my twist is flat and parallel with the pliers, which will come in handy when we are making the necklace. If you get it twisted, it's okay because you can fix it, because wire is very forgiving in that sense. So what you do is you pull this wire down towards you and down all the way, see, and then go around that barrel on your pliers. And then I like to go around just a little bit. And then I like to hold this with my square pliers and use my bent nose pliers to twist, to wrap. But you can do whatever you want. Alright, but the first thing you want to do is make sure you get that loop centered over top of the beads. And when I did that, I just smushed the loop. So if you just sort of push it back onto your round nose pliers, you can make it back into a circle. Alright, so just hold on to that. And make a few wraps. Oops, sorry. Alright, and hopefully you do yours straighter than I just did. It's, you know, I'm trying to do this on video and I'm looking through a screen to do it, so it's a little weird. And then I had a lot of excess wire, so you just want to clip that off. Save it to recycle it. and then push that down in there. Alright. So your top loop is going this way and your bottom is going the other way, because when you thread it, you want the spiral to be out. So if you are making a necklace just like mine, you want to make several of these bead dangles. So you'll make 2 that have 1 bead, 2 that have 2 beads, 2 that have 3 beads, 2 that have 4 beads, and then just 1 with 5 beads. So you'll make all of those. Okay, so as you can see, I've made all of my dangles for the project. The middle one is 5 beads, and each dangle has 1 less bead going either way. And now we just have to put the necklace together. So what I did was I cut a piece of wire, and then I just did a spiral on the end, just like we did for the head pins. And now I'm just going to put these all together. I found that it works better if you put a bead in between each dangle. So you could use the same beads that you used for the dangles, but I used my entire strand when I made all these dangles. So I found a different bead. It was just like a cute little pewter bead. So we'll just start on one end and go to the other. So you just thread them on and put a bead in between. And like I said, you can be creative and do this in any way that you want. This is just the way that I am doing it. And already looking so cute. And see what I said about the wire wrap loop at the top should be going the opposite way of the spiral at the bottom, so that you can see the spiral. If they were the same way, the spiral would be turned the wrong way. So just continue. Oops. And that's, oops, one more bead. That's great. And then I'm just going to finish the spiral on the other end. Okay, so here is my necklace so far. I forgot to mention that you need 4 jump rings and a clasp as well. So, cut out a length of chain. I basically just kind of go around my neck and measure how much I need, and then I just sort of find the middle and cut it in half. With my wire cutters. Alright, so we have that. So we want to open up a jump ring. So, well, I can just tell you how to do it. You just take 2 pairs of pliers, and it's very loud in my neighborhood, as I said, and it doesn't really matter what pliers you use as long as you feel comfortable. Bent nose pliers are awesome for this though, and it's hard to see on here, but the opening of the jump ring is right about here, so you place the pliers on either side, and then I'm going to go forward with my left hand and away from me with my left hand and toward me with my right hand, and just twist. So this jump ring keeps its same shape. You don't ever want to pull it apart or anything like that. Alright, and then I'm just going to attach one wire here, and then to close the jump ring you do the opposite. And I like to go back and forth a little bit, just make sure it's all tucked in. And then just do the same thing for the other side. And a nice tip about jump rings, it's easier if you, which I did not do this, if you open them all at the same time, all the jump rings you're going to need, instead of doing it one at a time like I am. Okay. So now it's on the chain, and then we just need to add the clasp, and we will be done. So you just open up a jump ring. You can use any clasp you want here. I just happen to have a lot of toggle clasp right now for whatever reason, and I like them, so that's what I'm using. And the other side. Okay. So now we have a completed, very cool, very pretty necklace that will really make a statement this summer when you're wearing it. Alright, so that was a tutorial by me, Kim, from KimberlyKohler.com. Go to www.KimberlyKohler.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter there, and you will get all kinds of tutorials to get you started wire wrapping. And on my website there's lots of different tutorials, lots of things to make, lots of fun. So go out there and get creative. Thanks.